Yeah. Van Glorious, Vanguard.
Knowledge born.
Yeah.
United Front. What you want.
To the Knowledge Radio.
We in here. What you got? Dot.
Work hard as a slave to one day be your savior. The wave unwavering. This is a labor of love. Rise with a purpose every day. Invigorated. If we were on TV, we'd be 10 times syndicated. If we waited for validation, a paycheck or accolades, we'd be starved, already lost or ran away. But when you're square solid and your circle too, you don't need a place for silence. The concept is conquered through media, not areas of people activity. A mix that don't lose ethnicity. Tightness that don't lose elasticity. Explicitly, this isn't where we give the novice regard. Nah, this is where knowledge is born. Last time that I checked, I'm undefeated. Deliver edicts, can't resist when the gods build and manifest freedom. When lines get crossed, they may push a loss, cause they get handed a check. We kick your can and cancel your cancerous gestures. A prophet vision, precision, the prescription for the sickness is to inoculate your fate with the winning. Arrogant beginnings turn to humble endings. And UF with KBA is the win-win. 1K.
All right, we live. Peace and Black Power family. Welcome to another episode of Knowledge Radio, place where knowledge is born. This is your host, Knowledge Born Live. We got the kings of the underground who tearing up the world right now. They got the whole world in the Cobra, what they call it, the Cobra Clutch. They got the whole world in the Cobra Clutch right now. You understand what I'm saying? So,
that's right.
You know, because my honor and privilege at this time to introduce some, present the others, and welcome here to Do the Knowledge Radio. Two warriors, man, who tearing the game up, taking the world by storm, taking no prisoners, no shorts, no losses, unapologetically them, and giving a message of empowerment and lacing us up with some game. So let's get into Neighborhood Watch Worldwide's own Tribe Life Assassins on. They got so much stuff going on. Look, I can't name it all. Okay, so I just got to let them do what they do, and we just gonna flow with it, man. So let me get my homies up in here, my comrades. You see what I'm saying? MultiMil, Homiletix, Tick. What's going on with y'all, man? Welcome to the show.
Yo, blessings, bro. Good to be here. It's good to be here, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate the platform.
For having us. Definitely thanks for having us. No doubt.
Hey, it took us a little moving and shaking to make these schedules work, boy, because y'all be doing some serious moving around. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm glad he was able to carve out this time and space, man. This dispensation, the time to do what he do, man. So if y'all don't mind, y'all take a second to introduce yourself to the fam, man, and we just flow with it.
Yo, what's good? My name is Homiletix, Homiletix, one half of the Neighborhood Watch Worldwide.
Yeah. And this is MultiMil because I multitask, and I'm the other half of the Neighborhood Watch Worldwide. And it is what it is. We here, you know.
So where did this concept get birth from? Like what was it, you know, for y'all, you know, to come up with a concept? Because that's a powerful name that, you know, as of recent got some stigmatism with it. You see what I'm saying? With the, you know, assassination of the young brother Trayvon Martin, things like that. So, you know, what was the, you know, the push behind, you know, such a vanguard type name?
I think that when the concept was brought to me and Mill, we were already artists working behind the scenes, writing for artists and producing and just working on our own stuff. When the concept was brought to us several years ago, three, four years ago, we kind of researched the name. We noticed that the name probably had already been out there a while, or different people would try to use the name, but I don't think anybody ever tried to use the name Neighborhood Watch Worldwide from the aspect that we used it from. We are two brothers that live in two different cities, and we are community activists. But we found out that the same thing that go on in one city with us in our community, if it go on where I live at, it goes on where Mill live at, it goes on where Knowledge live at. And so the thing about it is, we are merely here to let the industry know, particularly the industry know, that we know what's going on. We are watching you. We got an eye on you. So everything that you try to do inside our community that's negative, it is our job to expose.
Yeah, and you know, piggybacking off what I mean, the thing is, it's like you got to look at it like as far as the industry goes. Spend a lot, you know. We all know how far hip hop goes back. You know what I'm saying, and the initial impact that hip hop had on it because of the nature of uh, what it did to the communities. You know what I'm saying? We talked about things, we shared things commonly that went on, you know, throughout the city, like whether it was in your city, whether it's in my city, wherever it was in the world, we shared the same pains and the ills, you know, and we made the best out of it through the music. You know, so we were, you know, it uplifted us, you know what I'm saying? We got conscious to it, you know what I'm saying? We were learning, you know, at the same time. So, you know, it was a beautiful time, you know, then, you know. So coming into what we're saying as far as neighborhood watch worldwide, well, neighborhood, you know what the neighborhood watch is, you know, that's somebody who got their eye on you, you know what I'm saying? So in this industry, you know, we have to watch, you know, and hold people accountable for, you know, their actions. Like, you know, I was saying before we jumped on here, you know, a lot of artists want to jump on here and, you know, where they're out there, you know, saying that, you know, they're not a role model, you know what I'm saying? I'm not somebody but you are. When you jump in the game, as far as like taking it serious to be like out here putting music out, you have to be held accountable. You have to be held accountable for what you say, because your words, these words that you put out into the atmosphere, they carry a certain energy, you know, and it's gonna be negative or positive. And you know, we all know from the impact of where it's went and the direction of it, it's just went in a bad way here lately. So somebody has to be be out here to hold some people accountable, not just individually, but we have to hold some people accountable, because other than that, man, the community is, your community, my community is dying. So when we look up, man, we're gonna be extinct. You know, we head that way anyway. You know, with all of this nonsense.
So what's your story? How did y'all link up together?
We were actually brought together by our managers, and something happened with either my management team. They heard something that he was saying, or either vice versa, and it was like, you know, it happened about 4 years ago, and they linked us up. But the thing about us is, like with me and Jamil, me and him, it's like we've always been together. And, you know, and it's rare that you find an artist to work with, or you're working with somebody that instantly becomes family to you. Like, you know, man, with us, man, I've started in the studio with cats, Billboard platinum artists, multi-platinum recording artists, Billboard charting artists, iTunes charting artists, where it's always bad vibes, like vibes. And so it was never that with us. It was always from day one. It was always like it was meant to be together. And so from the time that we first started working together, and after we worked out the kinks, everything just fell in place, man. And you know, it was just like God was putting everything together and giving us a bigger platform together. We had a similar mind state. And it's rare in music that you can find somebody. That's why I guess a lot of groups break up and things happen to them, because a lot of them don't have a similar mind state. But as far as me and Jamil, we always had a similar mind state with music. It's never an issue if we're in the studio recording, if it's something that we don't agree, anything that we don't agree upon, ball it up and toss it, man, as you know, and move on. So it's never been an ego. It's never been an ego with us. It's always been about the message, trying to help out the community, and trying to help out each other to become better artists.
Yeah.
Mil, you want to add? Want to add to that?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's the gist of it, powerful minds think alike, you just got to make some things happen out here. It's a lot of work to be done. We done came a long way, but got so far to go. It's definitely a lot of work to do, and I say it's just got to stay humble, and keep your feet on, keep your boots on the ground and push through this. We got to make it through the storm, and as far as Neighborhood Watch Worldwide, see, the thing is it's like a movement. It's not even just a name. This thing here, in all honesty, it started out, in a sense that just we thought about the concept of the name and things like that. But, sometimes you plan and then the guy plans, the creator, whatever y'all, want to put out there, whatever energy of the creator you want to put out there. He basically kind of like took over our little, movement, and kind of took us on some travels. And, we've been making a lot of moves that I think that we wouldn't have been able to make, on our own. So being able to be blessed to get over there and touch down and work with some people out there in London, you know what I'm saying, to do some things, just that wasn't even in the cards when we started out, we were basically trying to do some, local things, you know what I mean, at first, because that's where our work was carrying us, but then it just like took over. Just went over into some other stuff, man, and like it's just been a blessing. It's been a nice ride, and it's definitely an eye opener, and to be able to see those kind of things, because we the same people everywhere we go. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere you go, we the same, man. Going through the same pains. It's just a different place. That's all. So it's Neighborhood Watch Worldwide because it's everybody's got to be involved in this. It's not me and Trav. It's not me and Tribe Life Assassins. I mean, we're involved in it, but it's gonna take all of us. It's all of us to hold people accountable of this BS that's going on. Somebody got to say something. We're not saying that we're gonna change the world or nothing like that, but it's a lot of it's a lot of like-minded individuals out here who feel like they want to say, some of the things that they see going on that's ill in the communities, and the cowards just gonna sit back and count their money behind the doors. The real dudes don't step out here and make it happen. So, can't be scared of what's coming down the road. We only got a short, a few minutes on the clock anyway. We check in and we check out. So, what you gonna do in between that time is what's gonna determine, how prosperous, we were with the movement. Gotta make it happen, man.
I think let me just add this to knowledge. I think that the real eye opener for us was we were, once we started moving and traveling and then we head off to overseas like the UK and beyond. I think that things became surreal for us, like when we got across the pond. And we saw that the brothers and sisters was going through the same thing over there. And I was like, dude, this is crazy. Like literally, we're on the other side of the globe and the brothers and sisters over here are no different than what we're doing back home in like the States. So that's when everything became surreal for me. I don't know about Jamil, but I was like, because me being military, I had already traveled to Europe, but being in the military, they kind of keep you confined, so you didn't get a chance to go to the hood anywhere across seas. But when they started taking us to like the hood in like London, I was like, man, they doing the same thing we do. It's no different. They just talk with a different accent, but they struggling the same way, man. I get, to me, it's amazing because I get calls from London weekly or just artists that we work with over there, I just get calls randomly from friends that's watching the news over here that is genuinely concerned about the things that are going on over here with us. So there's a connection with us. Worldwide, there is connection, man, among us.
Yeah, definitely. Somebody might go out or something.
Yeah, I think knowledge is trying to focus. Knowledge, you hear? Okay, yeah, something happened, Mill, but we'll wait for him.
Right.
While y'all doing that, I'll be back. Take care of that.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, you back now. Yeah.
The joint done froze up on me. You know, you gotta maneuver around these, technology. You know how it go.
Yeah,
So
it happens, man. Yeah, no doubt.
what happened first? Was it your pathway to activism or your pathway to MCing, or what's the story for you for both of them?
I mean, for me, it's just, you know how you grow up and everything's all good. You got to go through uh, middle school, high school and things like that, and not, going to college and those things like that because, a lot of us, didn't make it to college. And even some of the ones that did go to college, you came back to the hood, you know what I'm saying? You was in the neighborhood, you really, like no jobs was out there waiting on you and nothing like that. So, just seeing all the pains and the ills, growing up, and the things that the injustice, I mean, just being open, and receptive to being able to see the things that you see is just not right. You know what I mean? A lot of the stuff is just blatant right in your face. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like it almost, kills your soul to see things like that happening. And you want to do something. So a lot of the, the ideas were to, go through the music, take it to the music, uh, vibe through the music, and get a conversation going through the music. And it was good and cool, saying why doing your thing with the music because it sounds good, but then it went from being cool to like now it's like really like this is life now. This is not entertainment. This is not, and a lot of guys out here, what I'm saying, are involved in the entertainment part of this right here. And this is not not entertainment. So right now, we have to be able to be, guarding our communities, man, and like holding people accountable. It's about accountability, and I think a lot of the accountability goes, un untouched because it's a lot of cowards, a lot of people scared of what may happen to them if they do say something or do something. So, it takes a different type of person to be able to just say something about, what's going on around you and not worry about what's going to happen to you because you're saying something about all the injustice that's going on to your people. You're sitting there watching your people get pulled over by the police and you pull your camera phone out and it's like serious. We got to get beyond that. You know what I'm saying? So we feel like it through the music that we can really put this stuff out here. Like, man, all of that pulling your camera phone. I'm not suggesting anybody go out here and kill nobody or nothing like that when they see that kind of stuff happen. But sooner or later, man, you're gonna have to do more than pull your camera out, man. Y'all
Right.
sit there and watch
Right.
George Floyd 8 minutes, and we just got camera phones and stuff like that, and all that. I mean, it's so many. I mean, it's not even just George Floyd. Just think about all all the murders and, you know, in everybody's city, all of y'all city, everybody, you know, you got somebody, you done lost somebody to that nonsense. And, you know, a lot of people just sat around and watched it. We got to stop watching it. We got to get on their ass.
Exactly. Well, my path is a little bit different. But to me, it's all the same, and it's all the struggle, man. I grew up in a household of two activists. Like I grew up watching my dad, like, man, just warring against the police. You know, just sending the police into the community for just BS, man. And so my dad, you know, man, whenever I was growing up, he was always the guy that the police knew. So they always called him Mister, their last name. And so I grew up watching this. And so even from a young age, man, even before I was a teen, I was always privy to see things go on with like my parents and know what was going on, and automatically having knowledge of the things that was going on, like within the community, and across racial lines. And so for me growing up, like being educated was not something that was not gonna happen. So even after I was left home, joined the military, I was still in college, and you know, rose to the level and to even now, like, you know, I went on to get my doctoral degree, which allowed me to maneuver. So I'm saying this, personal level growing up, it allowed me to see what was really going on in the world. Even when you're dealing with colleges and you're dealing with degrees and stuff like that, all of it is man-made. I mean, you know, degrees don't make you no smarter than nobody else. So it was something that I think that God was showing me, and then also giving me a tool to be able to maneuver beyond what I was doing. Just like now, we go into certain places, you know, people need to know, man, you know, you're not just dealing with two average cats. I mean, man, you're dealing with guys that are pretty seasoned, even beyond the music, life or whatever. I mean, you're dealing with two educated cats, and at the same time, you're dealing with two cats that came out of the hood. And so we know the struggles, we know what's real, we know what's fake, we know what the industry is pushing off on people. We know what the industry is pushing off on our youth and our community. And a lot of it, just like Jamil said, man, eventually, with those older heads, you're going to have to say something. You're going to have to say something. And so I think that that's where God have placed me and Jamil at. Y'all don't have to say nothing. Don't worry about it. We got it. We'll say it. With all the backlash, we'll say what you should be saying, but you're scared to say it. So that's what separates the neighborhood watch. You ain't just dealing with two cats that just happen to fall up, out the sky. You're dealing with two educated cats, but at the same time, you're dealing with two hood cats at the same time. You're dealing with educated hood cats. That's a very dangerous combination to deal with a person that have grew up on the street, but at the same time, they have enough sense to go and get an education. So the only thing that my education have done for me was allow me to know what the enemy think like.
Yeah, you know, we spoke before, so you know I did some time in the military too, and you know, warfare, psychological, emotional, spiritual, whatever, we seen it and how it played out. You see what I'm saying? So you go into situations and you know what it costs. So your mind ain't in the same place as somebody who ain't been through it. But if they've been through it in the streets, they've been through the same thing. You see what I'm saying? So you just have to be able to draw out.
Let me just say this, because and and I don't mean to cut you off because I just had this conversation with one of my artists earlier that had retired from like the military. And the average artist that's on the streets, that's doing things, trying to come up, hood cats, they say that they're hood cats, blah, blah, blah. Man, when you go to Iraq or you go to Kosovo and you're fighting for something that you really don't know what you're fighting for, and then you come back to this country, your mind state is just like me, personally. Half of the stuff that these artists think about, man, I don't think about that. Man, my mind is combat all the time. It is combat relentlessly because I see what they're doing to us in our community. So I don't have time to war against my brothers and sisters inside the community. My efforts are turned to the government because I know what they're doing. So I don't care if my brother's making $1 million or he don't have nothing. My goal is not to tear you down. My goal is to build up my community and expose the government. So my mind state is different. So that comes with maturity.
Yeah, definitely understand that. I know.
I know. I know.
So let's talk Tribe Life Assassin.
Yeah,
First of all, let me just say that that's a dope ass name. Just off the rip. You understand what I'm saying? Like just off the rip. I was watching Cobra Kai and he was like, "That's just a badass name for a dojo." The black dude on there.
Right,
You see what I'm saying? So, Tribe Life Assassins, man. Let's talk about it.
Tribe Life Assassins was something that me and Jamil we wanted to come up with to connect ourselves to just worldwide to artists that we have worked with, not only stateside, but artists that's across the pond. And so what happened was we reconnected with every artist that we have been dealing with, male, female, domestic, foreign, and we had a roundtable with them to see if they would want to do like a collective of something that was global, something that was bigger than us. And so what happened was we found an overflow of artists getting back with us. So you deal with the Tribe Life Assassins, you are dealing with about 50 MCs globally. They are global MCs. And so when we started putting the project together, we just done it song by song. And we started here stateside of artists that we had been working with here. And so it all snowballed. Once we took the artists here, we headed to overseas to work on our collabs over there. And everything is shaping up, man. I think that project, the Tribe Life Assassins, will probably be released within the summertime. And it's just something that you would not expect to be spearheaded from MCs that come up out of the South. Because there's a stigma that goes with the Southern MC. Because everywhere else, people think that all cats from the South are alike. Like they put us in this one basket. But I'm gonna just be frank with you. That Tribe Life Assassin project will tear your ass up. It has nothing to do with where you from or where you're at and all that. This is a global project that is for everybody. If you're from Florida, if you're from New York, if you're from Tennessee, if you're from London, Japan, Australia, there is something on this project for everybody. Now, I will say this because I know how the industry is set up. The only ones that won't like it is the haters, because we have already tested the project throughout the industry across 50 states. And the response that we're getting back from it is That's what needs to be happening now for this new movement to go out within the hip hop community. So the backlash that we might get is we're not the ones that should have started the movement, but the movement do not belong to you. So if it's something that was placed on us to do by the Most High, it's something that's going to happen with or without you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the business.
let me just say this too, because there have been plenty and enough time for real hip hop artists and older heads to do what they're supposed to do within the hip hop community. So my thing is, I'm not sitting back waiting for you to do nothing anymore. Just continue to do what you do. And the Neighborhood Watch and the Tribe Life Assassins will do what we do.
So what's the qualifications, for somebody to join the team? People that's out there watching. You know what I'm saying? Because it sounds like some hungry lions out there. I don't know. If cats could qualify. You see what I'm saying? Like,
well, you know what? I've heard I heard a popular artist for the 90s on an interview the other day, and he was separating rap from hip hop, and he was telling them about rap music, and then he went to the hip hop culture, and he says in order to be a hip hop artist, you need to know that you need to have bars. And a lot of backlash that I've always gotten, I'm sure that Jamil get the same thing, because I'm sure that the things that I say, I have a global aspect of traveling throughout my lifetime worldwide. And so a lot of stuff that people hear from me coming from Florida, they don't expect that. People don't expect for artists from Florida to have bars. And so the thing about it is, you got to think, and I always tell people this in interviews, and I tell popular artists this all the time. I'm like, the way that you all look at Southern hip hop is one thing, and then Florida hip hop is something else. But you got to think that Florida is the third biggest state within the union. That's a lot of damn people. You got to think that all artists coming out the South or just in Florida alone is not into the typical monotony of what you're hearing coming out of Florida. That's a lot of people in Florida. So you're telling me that no MCs are coming out of Florida? That's, it's a question. It's a question for y'all. You don't think that nobody in Florida thinks differently than what you see out of Florida rap music? You got to think that I grew up in the household of militants. So why would my bars go anywhere beyond that? I have militant bars. And Jamil is the same way. We're just two Southern cats that this just happened to fall on. How it fell on us, we don't give a damn how it fell on us. You are going to hear what we got to say.
Yeah, and it's just really about, networking with like-minded individuals who ready to make a change, ready to see a change, and it's not money driven. You do what you got to do, the money gonna come anyway. But we grown men out here right now, so we can't play the the children's game. The flashing money and all of that. We got families to take care of. We got to try to figure out about what the government trying to do behind closed doors, what I'm saying, and the people that planted agents of our people that they, try to slide around us so that they can do things to us and things like that. They try to blend in like they one of us, but we all know that whole thing. So, we got more to worry about than sitting out here trying to rap and just do rap music and things. It's not about rap. You know what I'm saying? It's you have to do more, and you have to be concerned about more than just getting in here, dropping bars and stuff like that. We got to worry about, trying to put people up on growing your own food. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get your own businesses, things like that. You know what I'm saying? No one's teaching us, about any of these things at a young age. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the kids grow up learning all the hot new songs, but they can't, you know what I'm saying, put things together to try to figure out what we're gonna do, what they're gonna do collectively to try to do something for the community, so we can, because they're gonna take one community at a time. We can't do it all, but if I put it like this, I just had a thought, and it was just like, I'm thinking, like, for every artist out here, every major artist out here claiming that they got all of this money, they driving around these Bentleys. Every video you see, they're out on the islands, they're driving, these, I mean, it's just overkill, plushed out. So if every one of these dudes in every, because it's supposedly dope, you know what I'm saying, big top-notch dudes in every city. So if all of these dudes got together and took care of their own city, we could be out of this stuff, you know what I'm saying, in a little or no time, you know what I'm saying? But that can't be done because these same dudes who flashing all of this money, all of these videos, all of that old extra, doing the most, because if you were really doing something, then the community would have feel the effect of you really doing something. So it's just like, but you're not, because, when you sign contracts, you knew in the contract that you can't come back and help the community. You can't come back and build. You can't come back and help. You can't. I mean, it's little things that you can do, but on a major scale, you can't take your energy and run through the neighborhoods and save everybody, because it's against what you signed up for.
Right.
But we can. We want to walk, whatever comes down the road, whether it's, whether it's no money, because right now we're doing good. I work, I mean, all on the strength. I work all my life on a 9 to 5, so that's my thing. It didn't bother me to let somebody know, yeah, I got to go do this show tonight, but I got to work in the morning. So, it's real. It's real. And this is what we got to do to, make things happen. So, no one's looking at these guys, you know what I'm saying, to be able to hold them accountable. No one's holding it's about accountability. It all comes back to accountability. Nothing's ever going to happen for us unless we hold people accountable who are teaching, because it's like a school. If we really look at it and think like, all right, because hip hop was, in a sense, teaching people how to live, how to watch out for things, because the different cultures and the different, like New York, was a little faster than the South, and they got things a little bit faster. But so the South, used to listen to the the New York music, the East Coast music, should I say, and we learn from them, and and after so long, we start learning too. So now the South, what I'm saying, it's some individuals in the South who still with the BS. But you got a lot of dudes, what I'm saying, worldwide now who are waking up to see things that we need to see. So now we have to take it upon ourselves, not go sign these old bogus deals that's going to confine you in your own prison the way you can't even help your people out. You know what I'm saying? You got to act like, and I say, quote, act like you got money, act like you doing it big, act like because it's only entertainment. It's entertainment. This is not entertainment. It's not entertainment.
It's real. So before we get into the joint with y'all and Lord Jamar, I want to have y'all reflect on travel. How big is travel? And like, what are some of y'all takeaways from traveling around, whether it was stateside, whether it was overseas, and what some of the, the best spots y'all been in?
By far for me, London. London is a place that I love, and I vividly remember asking this to Jamar before we went over to London. Before we went over a few years ago, we did like a promo tour over there, some videos and stuff. And one of the main things that I asked Jamar, just to see if I could get a heads up of what we're getting into, he was like, man, London, as long as you are, if you're doing real hip hop, London love real hip hop. So my thing is, I found out that when we got over there, like, you had certain artists over there that was into the trap scene and different types of I think they do like the UK grime music scene over there. But one thing about it, if you got bars, that's what the hip hop culture in London kind of gravitate to. So to all the places that we traveled to, whether it was different countries or different states around the U.S., for me, London has always been like a second home to me. So we went over there, you know, everybody gravitated to us. We made a lot of friends over there, man, like genuine friends, people that literally call us up weekly to check on us and stuff like that. And so that was the place that has always stuck out, you know, within my mind. We even added a few artists from London and the UK within our stable that we work with on a weekly basis. So yeah, so for me, it was just always that UK type of vibe for me.
Yeah. Yeah, UK was the move right there. You know, just a lot of us never get to go out of the country. You know, some of us don't even move out of get to go out of the state that we in. We grow up in the state, and then you die in the same state that you was in. You know what I mean? So to be able, it was definitely a blessing to go to another country and just see things. So going to the travels that we've seen was paramount. You know what I'm saying? It's things that you'll always take with you and kind of build on. You know what I'm saying, from the travels. And the main thing for me was, didn't matter where we went. Where we go, the 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 thing that does it for me is that wherever we go, it's the people and their appreciation for us keeping it real, staying true to the music, and getting on the ones that know that they need it. We got to open some eyes. So, but just the appreciation for them saying, keep telling us to keep doing what we're doing. Was just confirmation that we was on the right track of what we were doing.
That's what's up right there. I remember I was in the UK for a little while. You know, I went to a couple of spots out there. I was in Brixton and
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
couple other spots out there.
yeah.
I ain't shouting some of them cities out. I went there on some other shit sometime. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, I know that energy that's out there. You see what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah,
Like,
oh yeah.
hip hop never dies right there. Well, music never dies,
Mm.
overseas. It never dies. It never gets old. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Right, right,
so
right.
to have that kind of reception, I know, like, UK like the Apollo. If you whack, they're gonna
What?
boot. They're
They
gonna
gonna
get
let
your
you.
ass up
Yeah,
out of there. You
they gonna
understand
let
what
you
I'm saying?
know.
They
They
will
gonna
go
definitely
get
know.
your ass right up out of there. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
right,
other places
right.
might rock with you a little bit. UK like,
Mm.
and fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
next. You see what
yeah.
I'm saying? So, you know, give us the sights and the sounds of Tribe Life Assassins, Neighborhood Watch. What a performance? What that experience like? You see what I'm saying, for people to take in.
I think that it is a very different experience. I think that for some people within the crowd, it is probably a culture shock because the industry have moved so much into where it used to be. And so when you walk on stage and you know that you're dealing with something different, like you're dealing with actual words and bars that move a crowd, and people to leave a person hanging on to what you're saying in your words rather than just the music, because you got to think that real hip hop is words, because a real MC can make any song live. And so the thing about it, it's a great experience when you walk on stage and the crowd chant your song, and you can just hold the mic
Trey, is he there? Did he fall off?
I thought it froze. It was breaking up a little bit on my end.
Yeah,
Did you
it was
want
breaking
did
up
you
on
want to
my
take
end.
it?
Yeah. Yeah, what we were speaking on as far as like it's like for the main part, like he was, like he was saying, it's just like the idea of being put together, because it takes a little work to try to put shows together, because uh, uh, trying not to, put what we do, the conscious music, what I'm saying, with some of the commercial stuff, what I'm saying. So our thing was just trying to get put put on the bill, what I'm saying, with like-minded individuals, who pushing that same message, as far as Neighborhood Watch Worldwide and Tribe Life Assassins, what I'm saying. It's like a big movement, what I'm saying. Uh, we real hip hop heads, what I'm saying, and this was, something. So, getting Tribe Life Assassins together was like, like wow, what I'm saying. It made us feel like, Wu Tang, what I'm saying, and Wu Tang, shout out to Wu Tang, they, how they got those guys together, and I know it took a lot to keep. I mean, now, I know now how much it took to keep, those kind of, like different minds, so many different minds on the same page. So, what I'm saying, but getting Tribe Life Assassins together, what I mean, it just like, yeah, made us feel like we was on some Wu-Tang shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and
Right.
everybody's bringing fire. Ain't nobody talking about women, clothes, money, chick, all that old extra.
Bars. Bars.
We all on task at hand. You know what I'm saying? And not everybody's getting on. Uh, every Tribe Life Assassin member ain't getting on the same song, but throughout the whole project, you know what I'm saying? We sprinkled and laced throughout the whole project,
Right.
and
Right.
yeah, we bringing what's needed right now. So but yeah, for the shows, it's like you said, just it's a shock to people to see um uh the state of music and the way that it's in right now. And then we bringing some of the real stuff back to the game. Definitely appreciate it.
All right, so let's talk about linking up and meeting up with Lord Jamar if we can.
Yeah, Jamar, man, he's one of the coolest cats, man. And I know, for a minute, a lot of people, thought, that he was caught up in controversy of what was going on and whatnot. But the dude is down to earth and a real cat. You know what I'm saying? Showed us, mad love. You know what I'm saying? When we went out there, as far as getting a video shot, on the first deal. It was just love, you know what I'm saying? And like me and Trav, we talk about, how he brought out Dead Prayers, and them guys from the South, one of them, so you got to think that, I just remember the dude, what I'm saying, Jamar, saying that, in some of his interviews he talked about, how, if he's on something, it's got to be about something. So to be able to be actually on something that he's actually on, not putting him out there like that, but yeah, he was he was one of the, Brand Nubians was one of the, what I'm saying, hot things back in the day. And, he was on that conscious stuff back then, still trying to push that message about, what I'm saying, teaching us what was, what needed to be out there, why he was going up against the other stuff that was coming in at the time, you know what I'm saying, that commercial stuff. So, for me, to be, able to, link up with him, what I'm saying, and see, what I'm saying, he's a regular cat, real love, and things like that. It was a good look, what I'm saying, and then to know that, he thought enough of our stuff to be able to think that, what I'm saying, we could lace up together, you know what I mean? So it was definitely hot to me.
Yeah. I caught the tail end, man. I got bad reception here, but so I think that you was asking us about working with Lord Jamar. Is that correct? Is that correct,
Right.
Knowledge? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. It's been it's been good with Jamar, man. I mean, for a personal that caliber, and even years ago, man, when we first linked up with him, like it, man, it's just been a blessing, man, because I grew up, and I'm sure that Jamil did too. I grew up, man, being a fan of the Brand Nubians, Grand Poobah, Sadat X, and Jamar, man. Man, for us, man, that's like, man, that's like almost reaching your apex, man. Because I remember even back in the '90s, man, from the first project, just them reaching out into the community and just dropping something that was different. Because back then, you had different groups that was dropping knowledge, but it was definitely something different about the Brand Nubians. And Jamar, man, shout out to him, shout out to him because he have been nothing but positive along the way, man. Man, just telling us, just dropping gems of different things that we need to do, different things to look out for. So, he's always been a big brother in that aspect, man. If you notice something about Jamar don't deal with a lot of artists, like a lot of artists. He don't collab with a lot of artists. That's just his nature. And I think I heard him on several interviews state that, like, man, I just don't deal with him. And so, a light came on in my head, man, because we had already worked with several major artists even before Jamar. But that was the collab that we wanted for me, and I'm sure for Mill, that was the collaboration that solidified um, um, our entire goal within the hip hop community. So whenever Jamar jumped on it, I was like, oh hell, like this is really happening, and that started probably about 3 years ago. Even after we were like dealing with people within the industry, different deals and different record labels and different popular artists and stuff like that. But Jamar was the one. So shout out to Jamar, man, for just thinking enough of us, neighborhood watch, to even kind of take us up on this wing, man, and help us out. It's a blessing,
For sure.
Yeah, what's crazy for me about 5 years ago, we were supposed to link and do an interview. And it took 5 years for us to come together and do the interview. It was back and forth. It was all kind of, you know what I'm saying, all of the stuff in between. But when it actually happened, I was actually prepared to actually do the interview. So, 5 years in the
Right.
making. It took a
Yeah.
little time. It took a little experience, things like that.
Right.
So I interviewed him on the 20-year anniversary of Let's Get Free.
Okay. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
look how remarkable the timing was. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Yeah.
Right.
it was another situation. I talked to him about some shit. He talked to me about some shit. He was like, oh, some shit. So it's like now the conversation is different versus talking to somebody, who's a journalist. I'm sure y'all been on thousands of interviews. So you sit down with journalists versus sitting down with people. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? So they're
Right.
there,
Right.
they're scripted, and they're asking you the same shit everybody else who's a journalist asks you. You see what I'm
That's it.
saying?
That's
So
it. That's true.
it's there's no insight into what you do. Maybe they listen to your music, maybe they didn't, or whatever. But maybe they did it to say, "Oh, we did that interview," type of situation. But
Right.
to sit down with a brother I grew up listening to, and to be able to, show him that level of respect that he's due, and for all of the contributions. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah,
it was
man.
the Fat Boys. It was the Fat Boys who had brought rap to Hollywood.
Right.
You see what I'm
Right.
saying? Lord
Right.
Jamar brought our culture to HBO. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
so this is another move. And then you look like 20 years later, he's in another situation to where he's bringing it back. You see what I'm saying? So when you look at these things, you might have one view of it, but if you look at it universally, they always run in the same kind of play. But we're
Right,
in a position to be able to predict in the same way which they would. You see what I'm saying? And do these things in advance. So I just think it
right.
was remarkable to be able to share that story, with him, and him, share some stories with me, and collaborate on some things. You see what I'm saying? With someone
Right,
that you look to, with so much respect. You know what I
right,
mean?
right,
So
right,
Right.
right.
I'm
And
glad to be able.
I think it's the same way with us because there is a lot of, man, we work with a lot of artists. We work with a lot of popular artists, and a lot of them we just work with them and then okay, go on. You know what I'm saying? But whenever we talk to Jamar, there's a different vibe with him. Like he's genuinely concerned. And
Mhm.
when you're dealing with a group like us, we have to be careful of who we're dealing with because
Right. Right.
things I guess things can go south real quick, man. Like, so a lot of stuff that Jamar drop on us, I don't know, but I just want to say this to him. Like, I don't think that he be, that he recognized that we be listening because of who he is, but we hang on to what he's saying because he is so genuine. He is so genuine. And Jamal's the kind of person that's gonna put it out there, and then you make your choice with it. But we
Right.
always
Right.
try to make the choice like the right choice. So whenever we call him, I get the information I need, and I just make it brief, listen to him or whatever, and it's always registering to me because we deal with a lot of artists, and a lot of artists shoot us stuff that we know is not right. Jamar has never done that. He has always been A1 day one with us.
Mhm.
Always
Yeah.
A1 day
Yeah.
one. Like you do this or you don't do this. You understand what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
so you talking about genuine. Like genuine is somebody that's for the culture of hip hop. Jamar's my guy. He is
Mhm.
definitely my guy. 1,000. 1,000. And you
That's
can
right.
read it. You can read them between the lines. 1,000. Jamar is my guy that I call whenever we need information. Jamar is who I call.
Yeah.
That's definitely a blessing, man. That is definitely a blessing, for real. In every sense of the word, right there. So
Yeah.
I definitely know, and everybody puts each other in a certain kind of space too. You see what I'm saying? So with him listening to y'all, I'm sure he was reminiscent of that Dead Press feel. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
With that kind
yeah,
of energy, because y'all
Mhm.
yeah,
coming with it. Y'all ain't
yeah.
playing around with it. You see what I'm saying? This cast that might be trying to play around with it might be a little nice, and you got to read
Right.
between the lines and try to figure out what they talking about and blah blah blah.
Right.
Like, nah,
There is
we
no
got
reading between the lines. It's
we got
it's
3D
in your face.
glasses, right?
It is in
3D
your
glasses
face.
on, no
It
chaser.
right, right. This is and we want to make sure that people understand this. The neighborhood watch is in your face to death do us apart. And so we want the industry to understand that. Your ass is on blast. And don't just think it's us. Like just because people behind us is not talking, don't mean that they don't exist. This shit is gonna come to a stop with what you're witnessing in the industry and our community. It is going to stop to death do us part. So if it take us to the grave, it is exactly what it is. Because at
Right.
some point, just like Mill was saying earlier, at some point, you're gonna have to stand up and tell the truth about what's going on. So if you don't want to book us because we're telling the truth, don't. Keep on doing what you're doing. But there's a whole nation of millions behind the neighborhood watch. I
Yeah.
promise you, we
Yeah.
have no worries.
Yeah. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people want to see change. It's a lot of people that want to see change. Because everything is so redundant right now. I mean, if you look at the industry right now, everything is all about overpriced videos, it's just like so much, things that the natural person would never be able to entertain. You know what I'm saying? You'll never be able to attain things that you see on video, whereas in the day, we talked about things that, you could be like, yeah, I'm gonna probably implement that into my life. Maybe that might, you know what I'm saying, uh, get me a couple more days on this earth, you know what I'm saying? Just, keeping things mellow. But now everything is over the top, like extreme, everything is like over flashy, you know what I'm saying? It's like money, the women, you know what I'm saying? I mean, think about, it's men and women out here now. Whatever a man and a woman have to do, it's like, all right, we know that we do that behind closed doors. Real men and women do anyway, you know what I'm saying? We don't want to be putting our business out there like that. So again, entertainment, you know what I'm saying? They go out here to entertain, you know what I'm saying? So they get paid to go out here and dance for master, you know what I'm saying? Da 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 da. How I do, master? You know what I'm saying? And they get paid, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. Whereas, and then you look in our communities, and you got our kids growing up seeing that, and they want to ride in that Bentley. They want to be in that mansion. They want to, you know what I'm saying, be with those fine women like that. You know what I'm saying? But so, and not to say that the school system is like the way out, because what they teach us in the schools is not, what we need to be getting anyway. We should be getting, putting our kids, back up on the real history of who we are. To homeschooling, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of lackadaisical people in the world right now, because we're forced into like having to go to work, so we can't homeschool. It's all set up, man. It's a lot of things out here that we got to be paying attention to, other than these entertainers out here trying to, throw us off the trail, you know what I'm saying, while the other stuff going on behind closed doors, you know what I'm saying? So everybody ain't sleep. We definitely not sleep out here. So everybody that we coming in contact with, everybody that you're gonna hear on our records, everybody gonna be coming with the real deal. We ain't gonna be on the same stuff. And not to say that stuff out there ain't gonna keep selling. It's gonna keep selling because people gonna keep buying it. But you know what I'm saying? On this side, we gonna keep it 1,000, with what we supposed to deliver, because you got one time around here, man, and it's like I said, life and death. What you do in between is what's going to determine your legacy. So we got to do something, different than what we've been doing, because we see where hip hop went, where it was to where it went. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of the old head hip hoppers, you know what I'm saying, who they know. I mean, they know ain't no Grammys in it for them. They know ain't no awards in it for them no more, because they ain't talking about the stuff that these guys on out here. You know what I'm saying? The destruction of the community. You get on that destruction of the community stuff, you get on. You know what I'm saying? So we got to do better, y'all.
Yeah, they got an endless budget to talk about our destruction. You see what I'm saying? And no budget to talk about our resurrection and rise. So
there you go.
That's where y'all come in.
There you go. Yeah, they scared to, or when they can't, they know about taking the oath. You can't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? You can't talk about it. So
let me just say this too, because I think that people listen to interviews, and man, you got to think that, for me personally, I'm talking from experience, because you're looking at a guy that taught high school. I've taught from K-12 to high school, and I was a college professor. So like the things that I know personally, I know about things that go on beyond the music industry. So when I began to see these things, like even dealing with society, and like dealing with different cultures and stuff like that, that I realized that my platform in hip hop was bigger than all that. Like I literally prayed for a platform that was bigger than all that. So I knew what I was up against, but my eyes was open, because I had already saw things that was going on by working with people in life, students, races, and stuff like that. So by me seeing how other people thought about
my community, I try to imply that into my lyrics, and it oftentimes come out the way, exactly, that I wanted to come out. But that was a real eye opener for me personally, of being able to teach students, like actually teach students of different races and how they really thought about the Black community and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, something is not right. So whenever I asked for a platform, it was like God said, there it is. I'm gonna give you this platform in your face, and I want you to talk about every experience you had at teaching these kids from all these different races and even across the college level. Like talk about this stuff. And so what I try to do is I try to incorporate this stuff into real life scenarios of stuff that I have been through, of dealing with these. Man, there ain't nothing that somebody can just sling past me as being real. No, you need to prove it's real to me. So me, I don't get off into what religion you are and all this stuff, man. I don't give a damn what religion you are. What I know is that you perceive my community in a certain way that is not real. So now hip hop music is my opportunity to clap back and clear up what you think about my community and help my community. Me personally, I really don't care about what you think about my community. I only care about right now because of what's going on in this time. I care mostly about what's going on in my community. So if God made me a mouthpiece, I got a shout out from the mountaintop, regardless of what happened. I'm really not afraid of what happened. Of the industry don't like me. The industry don't have power over me. The Most High got power, and you ain't got more power than him. So there it is.
Right. That's true. Just piggyback off of that, as far as like the drug dealing, think about it, just the perspective of the drug dealing is in the music. I mean, come on now. Now you got guys talking, they on record talking about they got birds, and they got the birds coming in from, on the planes, they doing this and they doing that with the drugs coming in and coming over. Okay, my thing is like, what sense would that make for you to get on record and to act like you moving that kind of stuff? Because I know dudes in the neighborhood that if they don't know you, you can't get a $5 bag of weed from them. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? But to be honest, why would you get on record and say that you got birds coming over? You got, what I'm saying, you moving those. No one. It's like snitching on yourself. So they act like now. Let me go do this for real. Let me actually get a plug and fly out just one bird over BNA airport. You know what I'm saying? And watch where you see me. You're gonna see me on the news. You're gonna see me in handcuffs, and you're gonna see me in court. You know what I'm saying? Going down for the drugs that I got caught. You know what I'm saying? Bringing in. So we got to teach the kids. And show the kids, the youth, that this is not real. This is not real, and we've gotten so far away from what's real and what's not. People think that's real. They actually think these dudes are really living this life. So our community is like really, what I'm saying, suffering because of entertainment. If we could just get rid of the entertainment perspective of it, you would see how not that these guys are not living that life. You know what I'm saying? It's budgets, big budgets in this. It's big. It's a lot of money. Billion dollar business. This music is every year. To entertain and to sidetrack, our people. It's all entertainment. You know what I'm saying? They're making the money. Like Method Man asked them, where they getting all of this money at? Where they get? But really, that's a logical. Where you getting all of this money from, man? And people who've been doing this for years ain't even getting it like that. So something is not right about it. You know what I'm saying? And you're not gonna have a lot of people getting up there on the front line talking about what needs to be addressed. You got guys, the top guys, like I said, out here acting like they killers, acting like they selling drugs, but they won't get on the front line, and talk about what's going on in the community. So entertainment, y'all.
And let me just add this, man. Shout out to Prodigy Records and Stone Paxton, who the CEO of our Prodigy, man. He has never tried to get us to go beyond of what we need to do to address community issues. Like, and actually one of the stipulations was, man, if y'all gonna talk about killing your community and all that, or the women and selling drugs, that's something that we're not going to be able to do. So it's rare that you find a label in these days that give you free range to really address real issues that's going on in your community. And I just want to say this to the young artists that's coming up and the young aspiring artists that's coming up. Pay attention, man, because a lot of stuff that you see, 99.9% of it is not real. It's not real. It's not real. And if you pay attention to your art and you grind and do what's right, God will open a door for you that will lead you to that path. So pay attention. You don't have to do nothing stupid in order for you to be successful, because we have not done anything against the grain, but besides trying to help out our community. For us, that's not against the grain. For us, that's normal. We're Black, so we're helping out. We're helping out our community because we live in the community. Granted, don't get it twisted. We live a comfortable life. But it's beyond rap music. It's beyond the entertainment industry. We have a residual income that will last the rest of our life. And so the goal for us is to leave what they call generational wealth. When I die, if I die before my wife, I want my wife to be comfortable. I want my kids, if I have grandkids, I want my grandkids to be comfortable. So to have a comfortable lifestyle is possible without you doing BS in order to get there. And that's something that the industry and these artists don't want you to know. It is possible to get to that lifestyle by grinding and being true to who you are. So you don't have to sell out in order to make millions. I mean, it's not like we're broke, but we had to grind to get there. But now I'm gonna tell you this. We don't miss a night of sleep, because after I hang up with you, I'm gonna just take me a shower and lay down. I mean, there is nothing that I have to worry about because I haven't done anything contrary to my soul.
It is. Yeah. And we got to push that. We got to push that, generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't matter if my brother is rich or your brother is rich until we can never rise above the condition of our people. So we got to kind of make sure that everybody's doing pretty good. You know what I'm saying? And once everybody's doing at least pretty good, then we can kind of see that we're making progress. But if one person or two people out of the circle is doing something, whether it's music or in your day-to-day life, you know what I'm saying, then that's where the backstabbing comes, because everybody's not getting to eat fairly. So we have to make sure that everybody understands that we have to grind in order to make sure that everybody's getting a piece of the pie. And it can be obtained. It can be obtained.
All right, we're going to end with the song, but if y'all got a final message and where people can find you, they want to work with you, if y'all doing features, whatever the case may be, anything y'all want to promote, and let them know, and also your social media. So let's do that before we wrap.
Yeah, you can actually find me personally at Homiletix. If you go to Instagram, I really don't deal with Facebook like that because of Facebook jail, because of my because of my message, which to me it is what it is. I'm an old school artist, so me without social media, I'm fine. So I'm not trying to get the blue check on Instagram. That's something that y'all want. So I'm not in there. But you can find me personally at Homiletix. That's HOMILETIX. But I do want you to keep in mind that if you do contact me, that you need to be serious about what you're doing. Keep in mind that me and Jamil, we are Billboard charting artists. So if you approach us, I want you to approach us the same way that you approach these other artists that say they're making millions and doing that. But at the same time, if you're serious about the craft, if you would message me, I'm sure that management will look at the message and they will reply according to that message that you send me. So that's at Homiletix, HOMILETIX.
Yeah, and I'm on Instagram, MultiMil, because I'm multitask. I don't do the Facebook thing either. Just trying to go with what's good right now. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of people out here trying to keep the message here, hustle on what's happening, and then try to make a move on the information that you're putting out there right now. And we all know where Facebook is anyway, so it's not for it's just like MySpace is done with, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, MultiMil, because I multitask. Instagram, y'all get at us.
And let me give a shout out real quick to some artists that's across our stable. As far as as far as our label, definitely we want to give a shout out to Stone Paxton at Prodigy Records out of Vegas. I want to give a shout out to Ronell, man. I want to give a shout out to the First Lady of the Tribe Life Assassins, which is Q, out of Fresno, Cali. I want to give a shout out to my overseas Q, and to my overseas crew, as far as Mass Destruction, K.T, P Grizzy, and I want to give a shout out to our girl in London, Cyber Chick, and everybody else in London that's rocking with us, and even here back home in the States. One love. Shout out to Jamar. Peace and God bless you, man.
Yeah. And big shout out to you, Knowledge, man, for having us on this platform, man. It takes people like y'all, who have the platforms like what you guys have. They're not scared to push the narrative on things that need to be addressed out here in the communities, and it just, man, big shout out to, man. What I'm saying, much success to you, man, and pray for your safety and success, continued success out there, my man.
One love.
Definitely appreciate y'all. We gotta come back and do like the whole little EP breakdown, stuff like that. We want to get into the music, you see what I'm saying, and spend some time with it, and decipher these bars and all that. You understand? So we definitely gotta set up a part
gotcha,
two,
bro. Whenever.
And let's get into
One
that.
love. For sure.
I'll give them a little sample right now, though.
Okay.
Let them know it's not a game out here.
Right. Amen.
So if you put your hands on me and the chance on you, take off your clothes and ready, like I'm something new. I just assassins. Drive like assassins.
The pen that I write with is equipped with a sniper scope, and I've never missed a target. Better hope you don't get caught in the crosshairs. They talk about me like I'm a ghost. First you see me, then I'm not there. A secret weapon with infinite ammunition. PS to when they send in when you fail your mission. You never see the glisten from the looking glass. I'm gonna give you enough time to train the looking glass. Lyrical whooping ass. No remorse for victims. I don't discriminate. Same for women and children. Anybody that tries to bring it is taken care of. I've changed minds of many rappers that thinking they're tough. I'll make it quick. You won't even know what happened when you're taken out by a professional lyrical assassin. I've got a particular set of skills. If I show you, your family's about to read your will.
So if you put your hands on me and the chance on you, take off your clothes and ready, like I'm something new.
your boy Homiletix. You already know. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Let's legendary ghostwriter. My pen is lethal, dipped in blood. Maneuvering around the globe like a cyclone. I'm a lyrical flood. Fly like drones. I'm all in when I spit against the wind. From the booth to the stage, I'ma kill you quicker than sin. Wicked foes around the globe, sit in your henchmen or your kinsmen. I'm like deadly venom. Watch me get in them. Never flimsy with the flow, kinetic chemistry. You pathetic. I'm prophetic. The Most High show me my next enemy. Shut your mouth with grown folk are speaking. I got this thing linked up like light chains. There's the weak link. Quick notes about the cats that I run with. A mile, but they not rappers. They'll pull their guns quick. They got tons of shit. Spiritually, I'ma keep it knocking with them hi-hat and drum hits. My rhyme pattern over this joint, I'm done with it. Drowning out some of y'all cats' content is dumb as shit.
It's Mr. Alphabetical, the all-day lyrical, miracle, biblical. You won't like me when I'm angry.
Juggernaut move, activated. Finish him, assassin.
I'm macadoses with rap skills that's ill and ferocious. Funky as halitosis, ejecting in lethal doses. Doses lethal, ejecting, infecting like a disease. Coronavirus infecting, so MCs can't breathe. So the words you can recite when I'm done with what I squeeze. Cause I'm kryptonite when I recite from what I write. Precise and super nice, exotic and super right. Like a virgin's vagina, what I write is super tight. So to all y'all super MCs, to your knees, and assume a position of fetal because I'm lethal. Lethal fetal position, I beat you into submission. I drive like assassins, smashing competition. Cause in each and every line of these rhymes of mine, you will find that I am the lyrical Einstein. Cause I'm brainstorming and storming on your brain as I rain. Like that man that's got the method, I came to bring the pain.
So if you put your blame on me and I shame it on you, take off your clothes, get ready, look out for me. I drift along the ocean, in it I'm for you, and I'm in ecstasy, you're moving me.
Flawless victory.
Yeah. Now we gonna tell them. That in front. We tell them like this, yo. I'm an African. I'm a African. I'm an African. I'm a African. Yeah, y'all like that? No more. This man's mind is open. I'm an African. I'm a African. I'm an African. I'm a. Let's get
And
back
that
to
motive
the
is best developed by recognizing the common enemy.